Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 7th grade concept of number sets. This is Standard 7.2a in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 3 of the 2024 released STAAR test. This is a new item type called drag and drop, and if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we've got this Venn diagram here. We got 3 answers, and if we don't fully complete the set, it will give us a warning saying you have not answered all of it. So we need one of these answers in each of these 3 blanks. So let's take a look at what we have here. It says it's a Venn diagram, and a lot of times when we're thinking of Venn diagram, we're thinking of something that looks like this. Overlapping circles, and there's kind of something in the middle. And that is one type of Venn diagram, probably the one we're most used to. But this is also a Venn diagram. Venn diagrams are any type of diagrams that just use circles that overlap or sometimes within each other to show relationships. So what we have here, we have different number sets, okay? And these number sets are going to be, as you see, a series of circles that are stacked within each other. So let's start with these integers because that's the only one that happens to be labeled on this. Okay, so what are integers? Well, integers are any numbers that I'm just going to list them as like -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. I'm going to put a dot, dot, dot on each side because it kind of goes on forever. But they're whole numbers. We're not dealing with decimals. We're not dealing with fractions. We're not dealing with anything that happens to be like a square root or anything like that. These are numbers that you can count on a number line, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, but then it goes on forever and ever and ever, okay? Which means these 2 sets need to be more restrictive. They need to be smaller. And then this set, since it's on the outside, needs to include stuff that is not inside that integers. Okay, so let's look at our 3 possible answers. All right, so we've got rational numbers. You see that word ratio right there inside rational numbers. So rational numbers includes a whole bunch of stuff. Anything that could be represented with a ratio. So we can do negative numbers. We can also do improper fractions. We can do regular fractions. We can do decimals because those can also be shown as ratios. We can also include percents. There's a lot of stuff you can put in a rational number. Rational number is a very large set. There are some things that are irrational that we're not going to include, but most of the numbers we deal with in math are going to be these rational numbers, which means that's our largest set. So this rational numbers is going to go right up here because integers are a subset of rational numbers. Integers are these numbers like this that end up happen to be whole numbers that are either positive or negative. Now, there are even smaller sets than integers. Let's take a look at that. We've got 2 left. Natural numbers and counting. Natural numbers and whole numbers. Okay, so let's talk about natural numbers. Natural numbers sometimes are also called counting numbers. When you teach a child to count, we start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on, so on, so on. Those are counting numbers or natural numbers. So whole numbers are all the counting numbers or natural numbers with the addition of 0. So it's almost literally the exact same set. They're identical, except for whole numbers include 0. Don't know why we need 2 different sets of numbers, one that includes 0, one that doesn't, but that's just the way it is. So those are my whole numbers, which means my whole numbers are a slightly larger set because they include this 0. So I'm going to put my whole numbers right there because they include 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, which means my counting numbers or my natural numbers are going to be my smallest set because they don't include the 0, so they live within that. So then that means that natural numbers is going to go right there. This is a 2-point problem, so to get both points, that is going to be my answer.